What is up, you guys? It is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about the future of Nintendo. But before we get into that, two quick announcements. Firstly, Episode 7 of the Luigi's Mansion 4 concept series is coming out this Friday. I'm going to be talking about some multiplayer stuff, ideas I have on how Luigi's Mansion 4 can tackle multiplayer, and all that stuff is going to be revealed this Friday. So definitely subscribe and check out that video when it comes out on Friday, and check out the rest of the series if you haven't done so already. We've gotten quite a few parts out, and I'm very excited to wrap this series up with the next two episodes. And the next announcement that I have is I'm actually on TikTok now. Yes, ZakPak, the old, not boomer, I'm not that old, but the old school mentality kind of guy is getting TikTok, and yes, I've actually been using it. I've been using TikTok. I mean, I post not every day, but every once in a while I've been posting, and it's honestly quite fun. It's quite a cute little thing to do, and the videos are really easy to make. So definitely check out the ZakPak TikTok and drop me a follow on there too. Link all that down in the description down below. But without any further ado, let's get into the topic at hand. Now, the whole reason why I'm talking about this, well, there's two reasons. Firstly, Nintendo had some sort of investors meeting where stuff about, like, backwards compatibility for future generations and the future of Nintendo was brought up. And also, really thinking about it, most console generations last between 6 to 7, maybe 8 years. And the Switch in March is turning 6, so we're getting to the tail end of probably not the Switch's lifespan, but we're getting close to when we could expect to get an idea of what Nintendo's going to do next. And I really wanted to share my ideas on what I really think Nintendo should do because, well, Nintendo's got a bumpy history with making new consoles. Some consoles do really, really well, and then some, well, they don't do well at all. And I really want to make sure this next Nintendo console is really good. Let's take what we know so far and go from there. The current Nintendo Switch Online atmosphere, the Nintendo Switch Online service, is something it seems like they want to keep going across multiple generations. Kind of like how Xbox Live worked on the original Xbox and the 360, etc., etc. Nintendo Switch Online, or the Nintendo Online service, seems to be what Nintendo wants to do for their future generation, so it seems that everything tied to it might go across generations as well. So that could include things like, obviously, the online play, the app on your smartphone, hopefully not. But most importantly, to me at least, is the retro catalog that Nintendo's been uploading to their Nintendo Switch Online service, because if they're keeping this service, that probably means those retro games will be going along with it. So people complaining like, oh, once, the Switch Online's done, all these games are going to be gone, you don't own them. Well, if they go along to Nintendo's next console, you'll probably still be able to play them as long as you have the service. And if they keep this going for years, you could be able to play those games for, the rest of your life if Nintendo keep this service up. Now, they do have a track record of not being great about keeping their online services going, how they got rid of friend codes and then brought them back, have changed the eShop around a few times, but hopefully this is a streamlined experience that they're going to be giving us from console generation to console generation, and that will personally excite me. That's really all we know, though, that the online experience is something they want to continue and evolve throughout their generations. So let's get into what I personally want them to do. Firstly, I really want backwards compatibility to be a thing again. I want the next console to be able to play Switch games. Now, this will either work in one of two ways. Either A, the next generation Nintendo console will be very similar to the Nintendo Switch, but just upgraded and better in every single way, and still take cartridges. So, almost like the DS to the 3DS, while those two were completely different systems, you could still use the same cartridge slot and play those games. Or it can even be like the DS Lite, where there's another additional cartridge slot for the previous generation system. Or, the more complicated route, if they're going to do something completely different, what I think they should do is at least have the digital games be able to transfer over, and if you have a physical game, maybe offer some reward thing where your individual game gets some sort of code that you can redeem in their next console's eShop so that you can download that game digitally on the next console, if that makes sense. Personally, I really hope they go for the first way because I honestly love the Switch in general. Nintendo always likes to make each of their console generations different just to shake things up, and that's both a blessing and a curse. But I think they really found their own formula with the Nintendo Switch, being half handheld, half console, and it really worked for them well. They've sold over 100 million units. They're almost up to the Wii in sales, and this console's only been out for 6 years, so like, it's doing a really good job. Unfortunately though, Nintendo has this habit, and I've mentioned this before, whenever there's any kind of competition, they seem to kind of back away. Like the mini consoles. Nintendo released these amazing, they released these okay NES and SNES mini consoles, and people loved them, people ran out in flocks to buy them. All of a sudden though, everyone else started to do it. You saw Sega Genesis minis, you saw PlayStation 1 minis. So when everyone was expecting Nintendo to do an N64 mini, they just never did one. They just backed out. So especially with something like the Steam Deck becoming really, really popular now, I'm wondering if Nintendo is going to go away from this because there's other people doing it now as well. Because Nintendo, for better or for worse, like to go to the beat of their own drum. And as much as I would love to see them continue the Switch handheld console hybrid model with, you know, Steam coming up, and even though Steam's a completely different beast, because that's PC gaming, not even console gaming, I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo's gonna wimp out and say, oh, we're gonna do something completely fresh, completely new. And honestly, that'll bug me, because I've really grown to love the Switch console. And if they just change it and just say, nah, we're not doing that anymore, I feel like it's gonna seem like a downgrade to a lot of people. I mean, think about it, right? If your next console you're only able to play on the TV, people are going to immediately see that as a downgrade. No matter if it's more powerful, I mean, it being more powerful is definitely important. But even if it's more powerful, people are going to be like, oh, so we can't play games on the go anymore? Or you're going to offer a second device that we have to buy, just like the old times? Like, I don't know. I really hope Nintendo stick to the Switch format. That's all I'm going to say on that. The next and most important thing I think Nintendo needs to keep in mind also is power, because I love the Switch, and many people are really saying this now, but it is really starting to get outdated. It's unfortunate, like, you know, we're getting some really good third-party support, and granted, we still are. There's still a lot of good third-party games coming to the Nintendo Switch, you know, even in 2022. But it's not as strong as it was before. I mean, in the first year, you had, like, Doom, you had Skyrim, you know, and eventually we had Doom Eternal come around. You know, we had lots of great third-party support, and again, we still do, but now we're really starting to see ports struggle and have a hard time. Now, I do believe a lot of that is on developers for not putting as much care into it as it should have gotten, but I digress. It is still an important thing that we need power. We need this thing to run well. And I think Nintendo can do it. I think easily we at least need 4K support and, you know, at least 1080, 60 frames per second flat upon all of their games. Like, it's not something where, like, I think Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity had some frame rate issues. Like, no, that can't happen. We need games to feel polished. Even if it's not as powerful as the Series X or the PS5, no one's expecting it to be. I do think we definitely need more power now. Usually, and that's coming from me, someone who doesn't really care about power and performance as much as everyone else seems to. I think the last thing I need to say here about what I want for a new Nintendo console is just fun. I feel like that is something Nintendo Switch lacks. And when I say fun, I'm not talking about the games, because Nintendo games, you know, that's not something I need to wish for. I don't need to wish for, oh, a new Mario Party, oh, a new Luigi's Mansion. I don't need to wish those because they're going to happen. But what I mean is in the interface, the eShop, the lack of themes in the Switch. Like, if you look back at the Wii and the Wii U, and I'm not even a huge fan, well, at least of the Wii, I like the Wii U, but I'm not even a huge fan of those consoles, but the design was just so fun and methodical. All the different music that played in the background of all the apps. Being able to sort everything into folders, which you can do now on the Switch, but it's a little bit different. It's not like you put folders on your home screen. Like, they need to bring the fun back into the Nintendo console, making customizable. You're bringing back special edition consoles, which is great. I love seeing all these different special edition consoles and all the different Joy-Cons you release. I'm like, yes, this is the kind of stuff that Nintendo fans like. We like all the different color options, being able to customize your Switch, making it your own. That's one thing that Nintendo owners like. So, good on you for that. But, same has to go on the actual software on the console. themes are something people have been asking about for a long time. You even have a themes menu in the Switch with only black and white. Like, at that point, just have it be dark mode. Like, turn on dark mode. If you're not going to give us more themes, like, and I'm not even someone who cares about themes that much, but, I mean, I would like them. They'd be a nice thing to have. Anyways, overall, you guys, to sum up my points, what I would like for a future Nintendo console is something that definitely feels like a successor to the Nintendo Switch in a way, not something completely different. Something that can run all games from the Nintendo Switch, as well as having that vast array of retro games in their online catalog. And I want something that's a little more beefy, that has more power, that when docked can run games at 4K and, you know, and maybe in handheld in 1080. It seems like a lot to ask, but I feel like Nintendo can do it. You know how much money Nintendo are making with the Nintendo Switch right now? They can do it. So I would like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff down below. And hit that notification bell so that you guys are notified of when I upload new videos. And definitely check out the merch store. There's some Luigi's Mansion 4 new stuff up there, just saying. And other stuff that you guys probably like as well as actually some new 10th anniversary merch, because I'm going to be celebrating my channel's 10th anniversary soon. I'm going to be doing some live streams, some fun stuff with that. So stay tuned for all of that. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.